And we are live again, it seems. Let's see if we can find some people here. If you can follow me, I am also quickly going to copy the direct link. And we are live again, it seems. I need to silence that. I need to silence the other Eva. Otherwise, we're going to get into troubles. I'm going to share the link in our Facebook. And then we are going to be starting in a minute. And that's it. I hear a phone beeping. We're going to have to stop that. We want to have silence while we are doing this, so do not disturb. I do have 3 phones lying here, so that's a bit dangerous. Let me see if I can find myself. Let me see if I can find you. If you are here, I'm going to make sure that screen is open. I see somebody's watching already. Can you please post a message in the chat that you can hear me well? Meanwhile, I'm going to connect my microphone again. And just let me know. Let's see. Just let me know if you can hear me well, if it's loud enough. And then we are going to get this on the road. Meanwhile, I'm still waiting just a minute to make sure people come on board. And I can see that everything is working fine. I see some likes on Facebook. That's always good. But I do want to be able to see you all. There you are. No comments coming in. It's 8:01. Do I still have some patience? For sure. I can still wait just another minute. And I see it's already 8:02. So we are going to get this going. Let me get the presentation here for you. And I hope you are going to be enjoying it just as you have for the last few days. Okay, let's get this going. Welcome everybody. Welcome on day 3 of this free workshop. And for sure, we are quickly going to see a little recap of the last 2 days. So let me share my screen with you. There we are. And let's do a quick recap of the last 2 days. So first of all, this pre-workshop, it's all about learning some life-saving acupuncture points. These points you will be using most of the time in an emergency situation. Before I forget, always remember that advanced therapy is to be used post-diagnostically. It does not replace veterinary care. I can take those glasses off. We saw in day 1 acupuncture points. I explained to you that you can stimulate them either with your finger or with your red light if you have one. Difference being with your finger, it can be sensitive, it can hurt a little bit, and it takes a lot longer than when you're using the red light, which is just 5 seconds per point on a dog or 3 seconds per point on a cat. So it's quicker, it does not hurt, and it doesn't get warm. Apart from that, I also explained in day 1 that every booklet exists out of standard points and specific points, but the standard points we have already seen in another free workshop. So we're just quickly going to jump them over. Do remember, you have them in every booklet in your information pack. That's on the website. So these are all the standard points. Then we went to the specific points, and on day 1, we saw the specific points in case of heat exhaustion. We all know it. A dog gets locked into the car. Within 10 minutes, he can have heat exhaustion. He can also go in shock and he can die. So you learned about some very important points, be it governance vessel 26, and I'm not going to go back to all the details. Just look back to the video of day one here on YouTube and you will find all the information. So you learned about governance vessel 26, you learned about heart 8, you learned about spleen 4, and you learned about governance vessel 14. These are the specific points that you use in case of heat exhaustion with a dog. Then yesterday, day 2, you saw the points of what to do in case your dog is in shock or goes into shock. Lucky you, I reminded you of governance vessel 26. Yes, we also use governance vessel 26 for shock, just like with day 1 with the heat exhaustion. Then yesterday, you also learned about CV1, which is conception vessel 1. And I reminded you also that on day 1, you learned the difference between the conception vessel and the governance vessel. And then yesterday, you also learned about kidney 1. And I was looking yesterday for another picture because I wanted to show you the picture where it is on the human, because usually I always say, you know, the points, they are on you like they are on your dog, on the cat, and so on. But sometimes it looks differently because our feet are a lot bigger than their little paws. So I wanted to show you that picture and I didn't find it. I did find it afterwards and I have prepared it for you for today. Why? Why did I prepare it for you for today? Because today we are talking about the stop bleeding points. And now guess what? Aren't you lucky? The first point that you need to know with stop bleeding is kidney 1. Yes, exactly. Can you see now a little bit how we are using a little bit of the same points in cases of emergencies? Yesterday, we saw kidney 1 in shock. Today, we see the kidney 1 to stop any bleeding in the body. Now, is kidney 1 going to do that? No. Kidney 1 is going to resolve the problem in conjunction with other points that you are going to be learning. So like I explained yesterday, kidney 1 is in the middle of the rear paw pad. It comes the spirit. It's a think point, or others call it a Jingwell point. It's also a sedating point, and it restores consciousness. Here you see it also where it is on the cat. And then here we have the point on the human. Yesterday I explained to you that it's more or less 1/3 of the way of the end of your foot to your toes. And here exactly you can see this point. The program that I use to find all these points to make pictures for you is from the program that is called Points. And here you see it. It's more or less 1/3 of the way till the end of your foot. Now, the other point that we are going to be using, again, is a Ting point or a Jingwell point. In this case, it's spleen 1. I'll show it. Oh, hold on. I forgot the picture of the cat. It's somewhere near. I'll share it in our Facebook group. But it's at the same location. And it's at the same location on our feet. So in this case, it's going to strengthen the spleen. It's going to stanch bleeding. And we also use it in cases of, I'm getting some wind here, in cases of your dog is hemorrhaging. So you see it, it's on top of the hind foot at the medial corner. Medial corner means inside. So we are talking in our cases on our big toe. And with the dog, it's at the first claw, the same for the cat. Now it becomes a little bit more difficult. We have 3 points remaining and they're all on one picture. They're all on one picture because they are so close to each other. Now, it's difficult sometimes to find out where the exact location is of these points. You learned on day 1 that the governance vessel is on the midline of your back. Now, I grabbed some more pictures for you. Hold on. Here. And this is from a book called The Acupuncture for Dogs and Cats. It's a pocket atlas. And I hope you can see my mouse. So if you follow my mouse, this is the midline on the dog. You see the vertebrae. This is our sacral vertebrae. And you see here governance vessel 4. If you're going to see on the picture next to it, you see here also at my mouse, governance vessel 4. And governance vessel 5 is here above. So the dog of the picture is a pretty big dog. That's also why it looks wider than on our pictures, because on our pictures, it was a small dog. But if you just look here at governance vessel 5 on the midline of the back, you see here also the last rib sticking out. Okay, do you see the rib here? So you know it's just behind the last rib. And I'm going to join another picture. You see here governance vessel 4. You see governance vessel 5. And you see bladder 20. These are the 3 points I am talking about. So let me go back. You see here the points on the cat, governance vessel 5, governance vessel 6, and bladder 20. You see it here the same on the dog, but it looks different because it's taken from another perspective of picture. So let's go back. 5 and 6, bladder 20 is in the middle. Let's go back to here, and you're going to see it. Okay, oh, let me go to the last picture at once. You have your governance vessel 4 here, lots of space to get to the 5. And then at the next vertebra, we already have governance vessel 6. And in between 5 and 6, on the sides, in this case on both sides, because the points are always on both sides of the body, you have your bladder 20. Why is this important to do it the way I am explaining now? Is bladder 20 can be difficult to find if you have a rather, how should I say it nicely? A dog that weighs a little bit too much. You are not going to be able to feel those ribs. But most of the time, you are going to be able to feel the vertebrae on the back of the dog. So if you can, by locating on the governance vessel, locating governance vessel 4, then locating governance vessel 5, then 6, you will have your 5 and 6, and you know that your bladder 20 is in the middle of the two on the side. I usually use fingers, and then again, it also depends again of the size of the dog. I mean, the distance will be more if I am stimulating the points on a Great Dane than when I'm stimulating the points on a Chihuahua. If I use 2 fingers on a Chihuahua, I mean, I'm almost at the belly. So in that case, I will even use less than, well, or maybe just my pinky. But if it's a Great Dane, I can go to 2 or 3 fingers. I mean, of course, a mature Great Dane, not a Great Dane puppy. So what can you now do if you're using our light and you don't know the exact location because of the size of the dog and you're just not sure? I'm going to show it again here on the picture. If you have an idea where your GV5, your governance vessel 5 and 6 should be, and you think maybe I am 1 vertebrae too early or too late, you take your torch and let's say this is my governance vessel. You put it here where you think the 5 is, and you make a straight line to do 5 and 6, and you do 1 more. In case you were too early, then at least you will have taken the 3 vertebrae for the 3 points on the governance vessel. Now, you are limited when you're stimulating acupuncture points, you are limited in the amount of points you can stimulate. But stimulating 1 extra point, it's okay. And the same goes for your bladder 20. If you don't know if it's at 2 fingers height or 1 finger and a half, depending on the size of your animal. Let's take my finger again. Let's say this is the governess vessel. I'm going to put my torch here in between 5 and 6, and I can either make a circle slowly, or I can take a line again when I know exactly where my governess vessel 5 and 6 is. Like I said before, I'm going to show you again. It's a workshop. It means you need to do some work. And in this case, you need to do some work to go and discover how the skeleton of your dog looks like. If you go to Google, if you go to ChatGPT or so ever, and you are asking for more explanations on the skeleton of your dog, you can get pictures. At least on Google, you can get pictures. Try to accustom yourself to know. I'll show it here with my mouse. Here above, we have the cervical vertebrae. Then we have the thoracic vertebrae. Then we have the lumbar vertebrae. And finally, well, I can't even show it here. You have the sacral vertebrae. You need to know a little bit of the skeleton of your dog to make it easy for you to find points. Here, for example, on this picture, you can see here at the end of your cervical vertebrae, we have that governess vessel 14, the point we talked about on day 1 in case of heat exhaustion. Now we are going all the way down. We're coming up. We're all the way down. I don't know. Let's see if we have it on here. Well, you can't see it. Here under the tail, we had our governess vessel 1. And under the anus, we had our conception vessel 1. If you get to know a little bit of the skeleton of your dog, you are going to be able to find points. And it's going to make it a lot easier for you. So please take the time to go through the pictures. Please take the time to do the work. And if anything is wrong with your vet, please go. No, if anything is wrong with your dog or your cat, please go to the vet. I said it yesterday. I'll show you the picture again. I've shown you this every day. Repetition is the mother of skill. This is also why every day I did a recap of the day before. So you would hear it again. So you would see it again. So you would learn more about it. And I showed this picture also every day. Learn the points. Look at the dog. Your dog is worth it for you to know what to do in case there is an emergency situation. If you are new, remember there is a free introductory course at www.advancedphotonictherapy.com. You will see it in there. It says free course. There are 2 free ebooks in English and in Dutch. I shared the links yesterday in that Facebook group. If you want to connect with me, the email is above, info@advancedphotonictherapy.eu. The website is also at .eu. We have a Facebook page, Facebook group, YouTube, Instagram. Just look for Advanced Photonic Therapy and you will always find me. Now, let me stop sharing and let me see if I can find any questions. I'm just going to put this out of the way. I am going to refresh the page because I am not seeing any remarks yet. There we are. Okay, Amelia, thank you for that. I was better without the microphone. So sad I didn't know that. YouTube wasn't showing me that. Oh, you cannot hear me? I can't even see myself. If it's too late, if I need to do it again, I will do it again. Otherwise, I will see if I can upload the video and change the sound of my video. So, hi, Clarice. Hi, Michelle. Great to see you. Ilona, does the weekly Tuesday session include discussions about pets? The 3-day presentations are appreciated and beneficial. Thank you. Include discussions about pets? No, we do the standard points all together.
It takes about 15 minutes. And if there is a question about standard points, yes, I will answer it. For all the other discussions, you can leave me a message in our Facebook group. I can go live and talk about it. And if we need to... Oh, I see Amelia, you are okay. Yeah, I'm okay because I disconnected my microphone. I will download this video. I will work on it to make the sound better. And then I will post it again on Facebook, on YouTube tonight. Okay? So, discussion about pets. Let me know, Ilona, about what you would like to discuss about pets. And for sure that we can always talk about it in our private Facebook group, Advanced Photonic Therapy DUI. That group, by the way, just so everybody knows it, at the moment, it's only for those who have acquired our red light. And that's just to avoid spam people in there. We also had people with copies of our torches trying to sell them, sending private messages to our members. It just went too far. And that's why I closed that group to only members who have a red light. So if you buy a red light of ours, you will get entry into that group. Then let's also see, do you recommend a dog model? Well, Amelia, it's not easy. Well, let me spoil a surprise. We are going to have a day 4 tomorrow. And day 4, you will see a dog model. Now, the dog model is not 100% good. It's a dog model that was sent to me from the United States that is being sold when you have, what's it called again? Halloween. At Halloween, oh, my table is moving. At Halloween, you had that horse with the red eyes. I got him. It was sent to me from the States. And I got also a dog that is being sold at Halloween. And that's what I use just to show at people. And I'll show him to you tomorrow too, when I will be talking to you at 8 p.m. my time. So I will share that tomorrow. Let me see to show. I see now, Amelia, your other question. A dog model that shows all of the acupuncture points? No, I don't know of any model that shows all the acupuncture points. As you will remember, I have big posters, but they are already at the place where I was moving to. So I don't have them here anymore. So if you want to see where all the points are, I would suggest you buy a poster and you put it on your wall. I have one for the dog, I have one for the cat, I have one for the humans. I also have my human skeleton, but he's already also in the other house. The horse is also in the other house. Everybody's gone. I'm in almost an empty house. That's why I have a screensaver here on my Zoom. Let me see. Yippee! I now have a red light. I'll apply to join again. Awesome. Jane Whitstock, welcome. Great to see you here. And the same goes for everybody. I see no new questions. Let me also check the Facebook group. Hold on. Let me go to Facebook, see if there were any questions posted there. No, I don't see any questions there either. So in that case, I am just gonna download this video from YouTube once it allows me. And I will listen to the sound, and if it needs to be changed, I will change it and then repost it. I see Ilona, if my dog moves during a treatment, does this mean it's working, bothering her, or just impatience? It can never be bothering, that's for sure. It doesn't hurt. Your dog is never going to feel anything. Your dog can move. You do a few points now. In half an hour, you do a few other points. If we're talking about standard points or specific points that are not an emergency. If it's an emergency, you only have 3 or 4 points to do. I'm sure you can hold your dog for 3 or 4 points. Anyways, if your dog is having heat exhaustion or is in shock, your dog is not going to be moving. And if your dog is bleeding after an accident, after trauma, He's not going to be moving much either. So there should be no problem at all to do those emergency points. And for all the other points, you can do it. So you see, for example, I had a dog, maybe you remember her, Cheyenne. She was paralyzed. And well, at one moment, I would turn hers. One moment she would lie on this side. I would do all the points on this side. And then I would turn her. Whenever the time was right, I would turn her. And then I would do the points on the other side. I even made a video in that course where I showed you that 9 or 10 from the 12 points on the dog, you can do while it's lying down. On both sides, 9 of the 12 or 10 of the 12 points. And so even when the dog is paralyzed, when the dog is lying down, when the dog is sleeping, you can do points without your dog even knowing. What it's going to be knowing it afterwards because it's going to have the benefit of it. Good? Well, that's it for today. I'll see you again tomorrow for day 4. If you know me, you know I always do an extra day. That's just me. I'll see you tomorrow. If you have questions, put them in the Facebook group. So I can, if I need to prepare some pictures or so on, I can prepare that for you. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.